Hi folks, something a little bit different this time. I managed to purchase this past fall a bike I've been looking at for many years, Rand's Rocket Recumbent bicycle. I specifically noticed this one way back in the day because it had the 20-inch wheels, which made it much easier to pack and get inside of a car. It's just smaller and easier to deal with. But in the process of researching this to purchase it, I found out that there was differences between the various model years that it was made. And I'm going to explain a little bit about what those differences are so you can tell what you're looking at if you want to buy one too. This bike came out originally in 1995 and originally had on the main frame a square tube design instead of a round tube design. They kept that one in place for 2 years until 97 when they replaced it with a 1.5-inch diameter round design like this one is. Apparently the square tubing ones were a little bit more flexible. The round tube just performed better. The 1.5-inch diameter tube lasted until the year 2000. In those years, they look very much alike. Some of the components changed a bit over time, but the easiest way to tell them apart is on 99 and 2000s, they have a heavily padded seat with a Lycra cover over the top. That means that my bike in particular is a 99 or a 2000. 2001, they redid the design again. The 1.5-inch diameter tubing became a 2-inch diameter tubing, and they stretched the distance between the axles, which is supposed to make the bike more stable at higher speeds. In 2008, they changed the design quite a lot again. They removed the smaller 20-inch rear tire and replaced it with a conventional full-size 26-inch rear tire. That had some advantages, specifically one of them being tire choices. That size tire, there's a million choices on tires depending on how you want to use your bike. These 20-inch tires, there's much fewer choices. I'm okay with that. I'm not a racer or anything. That's fine. The other change that going to 26-inch rear wheel gave was allow them to use a standard size front sprocket. When I have the 20-inch wheels like this, the front sprocket has to be considerably larger than other bikes. The problem with that is that you have far fewer choices if you want to do with different gearing, replacement parts, etc. There's far fewer choices than if you had the newer version with the bigger rear wheel and a smaller front sprocket. Now on to the advantages of having a recumbent bike. Specifically this one, the seat is incredibly comfortable. I had problems with my standard bike as I got older. It would just got to be too uncomfortable after relatively short rides, just an hour or two. I was in significant discomfort. This thing, it's like sitting on your chair at your house watching TV. It's incredibly comfortable. The second advantage to this and any other recumbent, where the front pedals are up higher like this so that they're in front of your body as opposed to some of them where they're much lower, is aerodynamics. This is, compared to a regular bicycle, pretty streamlined. It's comparable in total drag, according to some charts I found online, which I'll link to the standard racing bikes, where they're dropped down on the handlebars, way down with their back flat to oncoming wind. Not a very comfortable position, but it is aerodynamic, and that's why they do it for racing. This bike, sitting in this position, matches that. It's the same aerodynamic efficiency as those bikes in their racing tuck. But I can sit that way all day long. It's just a better design overall. As far as downsides, it's a little bit more challenging to learn how to ride this. Sitting down low like this seems like it would be stable and comfortable, and it is, but your back, being resting firmly on the backrest, prevents you from leaning side to side independently of the bike. However, the bike tips, your bike body's leaning too, therefore putting body English into the bike, going around curves and up and down hills and things, you just can't do on this. It takes a little bit of getting used to. You're doing all controlling strictly through the handlebars. At first, it takes a little bit of extra effort because you're thinking about things you've been doing automatically for years, but you get used to it fairly quickly, and honestly, it's just a more relaxing ride. I'm hoping to have this bike for a long time. I did have to do some deferred maintenance on this bike, as you'd expect of a bike that's now roughly 24 years old. Tires, for instance, were very old and not really safe anymore, and a couple upgrades like a nice little mirror and a nice little seat back pack so I can bring my stuff with me on it. But overall, the bike runs pretty good just the way it is. I'm hoping to put some miles on it this year and have some fun biking. First time in a while. Till next time.